So I'd now like us all to give a warm welcome to Providence Senator-elect Tiara Mack.
Hey y'all. So there is too much at stake if we allow the appointment of Amy Coney Barrett. There has always been too much at stake in a country at the hands of a system that only functions at the expense of the most oppressed class of people to benefit the well-connected. We are calling on White House and Reed to do everything in their power to affirm that our lives matter right here in their home state. At the risk of appointing Barrett comes the expense of reproductive justice. We would see the overturning of Roe v. Wade, the Affordable Care Act, and the passage of a host of other anti-human rights measures at the hands of a conservative Supreme Court. In fact, this court and generations to come will be defined as 1/3 selected by our 45th president, who has proven time after time to be an opponent of progress and equity for all. A conservative court determined to push the American health system further into international shame and ridicule will make U.S. hospitals one of the most dangerous places for Black maternal and infant health. We are experiencing decades-long crisis nationally and right here in Rhode Island, where Black birthing bodies and their infants risk severe health complications and death, no matter their income or education level, simply by showing up to hospitals to receive care. We have families that still do not have access to potable water in hundreds of communities nationally, but we can look right here as close as Washington Park in South Providence, mere miles from where we stand right now, to find the 9th highest asthma rates in our nation. Families suffering from systemic injustice along I-95 is no accident. It is by design. The decisions to cut through communities with a highway system, to place LNG facilities in ports surrounding our communities of color, schools, hospitals, are decisions grounded in reproductive injustice. These communities, our communities, are designed to harbor the brunt of climate inaction and reproductive injustice simply because they are poor, they are Black, they are brown, they are immigrants. The system knows the risks and the harms and then persists to dole out injustices. If Amy Coney Barrett is placed in the Supreme Court, we would see an overturning of Roe v. Wade. We would see the end of safe, legal abortion and see the rise of unsafe, illegal abortion nationwide. Let me be clear, abortions would not end. They would simply become more dangerous, more expensive, and more costly to our system. When we deny access to bodily autonomy, we allow courts or politicians to override medical decisions in science. We are inherently preventing our communities from making decisions that work for their lives and their communities. There is no choice in a system that makes families choose between rent and food. There is no choice in a system that forces labor that doesn't result in a living wage. There is no choice in a system where Black mothers and children die in hospitals, their homes, the streets, or at the hand of the system itself, upholding policing, school-to-prison pipelines, poverty, environmental injustice. How can families choose when these are the options? We must demand White House and Reed do everything in their power to keep this appointment from moving forward. We must also hold the mirror up in our own state and demand our local leaders do more to protect abortion access, health care access, maternal Black health measures, like passing the doula bill, and passing a Green New Deal. We can all start right here, right now, by taking out our phones and following the organizations that are leading this work. Add them on Instagram, add their Zoom meeting to your calendar right now, show up, learn more about the local level, tell a friend, tell another friend, show up and demand more from our state and city leaders to do all they can to combat a world designed to work against human rights so that come January in our state, we pass meaningful legislation to protect our communities from some of the most devastating effects of our leaders' failures at the top.